Charles Steinkamp will put it in the air for New Mexico, and the 115th edition of the Rio Grande Rivlary is underway from University Stadium in Albuquerque. The local New Mexico product out of Los Alamos, Steinkamp creates a touchback, and New Mexico State will have the football first. They have a transfer quarterback, Dontrell. He's Logan Fife. He wears jersey number 4. The Lobo fans know him well. He quarterbacked a couple of games against New Mexico for Fresno State. One a win, one a loss. He comes here from Montana, and Fife will be the signal caller here this afternoon for the Aggies. They go empty on their first snap. 4 wide receiver setup for Fife. Now motion Stanley across the formation, and he's going to throw against a 4-man rush. He escapes. He eludes. He fires late. He has a man at the 45. Tiptoeing out near sideline is Deshaun Stanley. That's a beautiful play there over the top to Gavin Harris, the tight end.
Yeah, and Gavin Harris is a guy that they are starting to see the momentum, and that's why they're going to go to him. You see Logan Fife's ability to avoid the pressure right there and stay alive, and dunked it in there right as the Lobos are honing in on him.
24-yard connection on the first play from scrimmage puts them nearly at midfield. A play fake, and Fife wants to throw. There's Keyshawn James Newby. That's a Lobo sack all the way back at the 40-yard line. That could be a loss of as many as 8.
It's exactly what you want. If you see the effort right there, you see Newby getting off the ball. Just a bum rush right there. 76 at Nieves for the Aggies had no answer for him. The energy that's going to be in this game. Who can control the trenches? James Newby said, no suit for you right there, gets the sack.
There's the captain, number 1, brand new proud papa, fiance Emma Elizabeth, welcomed in their first child, baby Jaya, 8:15 p.m. Tuesday, September 9. Second and forever for the Aggies from the pocket. This throw off the fingertips of the intended receiver, Donovan Fapel. That's a guy that Coach Eck recruited when he was the head man at Idaho. It'll bring up 3rd and long for New Mexico State.
Yeah, you see the pressure right there. He throws it early. No pressure, but what he's thinking is, can I get the ball out quickly? And as a receiver, they tell you, keep your eyes on the football. The very rudimentary, foundational base thing of the receiver. He wasn't able to do that right there. Unfortunate that it wasn't intercepted.
University Stadium in full throat for the first big 3rd down of the game. 3rd and 16. Fife from the gun. 3-step drop. Flag out. There's James Newby again, and he goes down. Back at the 35. Let's see about the hanky. It looks like the Lobos might have gotten up the field on 3rd down here.
Offside, number 1, defense in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
It goes the other way. It's on the Lobos. Keyshawn James Newby. And they'll get another crack at it. It'll be 3rd and 12 at the 47.
And Robert, in talking to the defensive coordinator, this Spence, those are those things. Can we do what we're supposed to do when the crazy things happen, when the sound gets loud, when the emotions are real? Got to do the simple things.
4 wide receivers set up for Fife. Motion man is Sean Brown. Again, flag is out. Nearly intercepted on the far sideline. John Johnson coming off a great game at UCLA 2 weeks ago. And we'll see about this penalty. They're pointing toward the Lobos.
Offside, number 1, defense in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Back-to-back plays. Keyshawn James Newby not being lined up correctly.
And that's what it is. It's the nerves, doing the things. And every coach that we talked to this week, it's controlling your emotions, managing your emotion. Take a look at the line of scrimmage, and that's what happens. He's just so amped up to get there on 3rd down that he forgets where he's at and gets a little earlier start. Have to hone that in.
3rd and 7. Just inside New Mexico territory. Their 3rd shot to convert on 3rd down. Another flag is out. A slant is thrown. Catch is made. 45-yard line by Fapel. And this one's going to be false start on New Mexico State.
Illegal formation on the offense. More than 4 players in the backfield at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
And Robert, nerves affects everybody, both sides of the football. It's an early game. We know that the Lobos are the least penalized football team in the country, and they've already had 2, something that they've been really, really good at. We'll see what happens on this 3rd down.
7 total penalties over 3 games, fewest in FBS coming into today for New Mexico. The 4th time on 3rd down on this series of downs for New Mexico State. It's a 3rd and 11. 4 wide receiver setup, proof fight against 3-man pressure. He goes down. Brett Carhu gets there. Lobo sack, 2nd of this possession. And New Mexico will get the football on a punt.
And there you see it right there in the trenches. Can you get off your block? The thing that the Lobos maybe struggled with over the years, if you can see right here, he just gets off his block. He wins his one-on-one battle that's a stunt, where one goes outside, one comes inside, and that's to confuse the offensive line, and the Lobos were able to do that and get off of the field on 3rd down.
Aggie punt is away. Max Dean drills it. It's taken in by Sean Miller back at the 10. He reverses field, and it'll be brought down just outside the 5-yard line, where the Lobos will start their first possession. All right, keys to victory, Dontrell. What do you have for us here this afternoon?
Yeah, for the Lobos, it's very simple. Feed the pack. That's get the ball around to multiple people, trick plays, run plays, short passes, etc., explosive plays, and also win the money down. And what that simply means is get off the field, as you just saw them on 3rd down. They have to get off the field. Opponents are completing 50% completion on 3rd down for the Lobos. For the Aggies, it's set the tone, own the zone. That simply means create pressure. They had 10 interceptions over the last 7 games. They have to win the trenches. 6 tackles for loss versus Bryant. They have to do that. And lastly, win the 1st down. They're struggling on offense. They have to win the 1st down battle and get a couple of yards on 1st down.
Bankston, the tailback for the quarterback lane, and a play fake, and Jack wants to throw. It's the deep post. It's Miller, and it's incomplete near midfield. There's the Lobo signal caller, Dontrell. Jack Lane, the transfer from Idaho, comes here with his offensive coordinator, Coach Schleissner, his head coach, Coach Eck. So experienced, has his center with him from Idaho, Caden Robnett. They love his decision-making, Dontrell.
They really do. And talking to Coach Slice, he said, I just trust him. Whatever Jack Lane says in the game, they just go, and that's what the Lobos do. And you just have to enjoy that comfort level with the offensive coordinator and the offensive coordinator and the QB.
Pistol set up on a 2nd and 10 from the 6, and Bankston gets the call. Bankston bounces outside. Bankston cuts it up at the 10. He has the 12, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 5. Tyler Martinez with his first stop. There's a good look at number 1, Bankston, all-purpose yardage leader from scrimmage for New Mexico, and Bankston was electric against UCLA.
He was 166 total yards of all-purpose that game. He is a guy they want to get the ball to in space, and someone the Aggies are going to have to keep an eye on.
Empty backfield, 5 wide receiver setup. They're going to throw an inside screen, and it's Keegan Johnson. He makes the grab, but he goes down. And the Lobos will come up short on 3rd and 5, and they'll have to punt it away.
Yeah, and if you see, and talking to both coaches this week, the offensive coordinator for the Lobos, Coach Slice, and the offensive coordinator for the Aggies, Yost, they talked about the screen game, and it's about execution, who you're throwing it to. And on that play, you see Jack Lane was kind of behind on the throw, and it was kind of doomed before the start.
Daniel Hughes, the Lobo punter, will strike this one from his goal line. TJ Pride waiting back at his 40 for New Mexico State. Low snap, no trouble. Hughes drives it. Low spiraling kick taken at the 49, and a 2-yard return. Excellent starting field position for New Mexico State. Lobos and Aggies, 0-0 in the 115th edition of the Rio Grande Rivalry. Shotgun set up. And a play fake, and Fife wants to throw, and he's running for his life, and he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Darren Agu, the London, England native, who started the season watching the Lobos opener against Michigan on his phone. His girlfriend had it up on FaceTime for him. He's playing in his second game, and he is showing out, Dontrell.
Yeah, you saw him, energy right there off the edge. Stayed where he's supposed to be and come up with the sack.
2nd and 10, 49 of the Lobos. Another play fake, and they throw it, and it's caught for a first down and more. Slipping a tackle, Donovan Football down to the 32-yard line for a gain of 17, and the Aggies move the 6.
And we know what the Aggies want to do. You know that they want to throw the football. That's what they do. They had an effort about throwing more and running more, but you see Fife just ride the running back there and just get it to the outside. The reason they do this, keep the linebackers interested underneath and then throw to the outside.
First down with 9.5 to go. They're going to run a reverse here. Do they have it blocked up? Oh, it's a reverse pass, and it's an easy completion for a touchdown. Football finds Pride from 34 yards out. How about the tables turning? The Lobos have used trick plays to great effect throughout 2025. New Mexico State does here first this afternoon.
Yeah, and we knew this was going to be a part of both the team's game plan, and then as far as executing, what they do is they do a double reverse. You get someone running, and then once the defense comes up, you drop it right over the top, and the Lobos not disciplined early in this football game to the tune of a touchdown on that trick play there.
Point after touchdown coming for Ryan Hawk, place kicker for the Aggies. He splits the uprights. New Mexico State strikes first. 7-0 Aggies. Quick strike, just 3 plays and 49 yards. And this 34-yard touchdown on the trick play from Football to Pride. Aggies up 7-0. Coach Eck looking for another big game on special teams from Damon Bankston. He's the one with his feet on the goal line for UNM. Abe Williams had 5 100-yard kick return touchdowns, the most ever at the FCS level when he was at Weber State. This is a low bouncing kick. It'll be Williams at the 15-yard line, brings it through the Mountain West logo on the near side and fights his way out to the 29.
And again, a couple of people back there. Coach Eck talked about having Williams and Bankston back there, and that's exactly what you want. You want to have 2 options to be able to be explosive, which is an integral part of the game, is the kickoff return game.
There you can see the history of this great rivalry. The Lobos with a 2-1 advantage in terms of victories in this series. They have dominated it, and in fact, it's a 3-1 margin when you talk about the 60 meetings here in Albuquerque. They trail early 7-0, just over 9 minutes to go first quarter. Twins to the right, and an inside give, and McKinney gets it. McKinney will find the 32, it looks like, for a gain of 3, where it'll be 2nd down and 7. Talking with Coach Schleichner about McKinney, he's so physical. He's not a big guy, but he's your inside runner with the size that he brings.
Yeah, it's really cool to see, right? You see what he's able to do with his stature to be able to run between the tackles. And any great running back will tell you the ability to read, to be explosive, have quick cuts, and get in between the tackles is absolutely imperative.
Motion the tight end Thomas to the right side of the formation and hand it off to McKinney. McKinney fighting out near the 35. They'll give him progress to the 35. And the Lobos will have a 3rd down and 4 from there. In terms of momentum, feels like this is a very important 3rd down conversion.
I could not agree more, partner. I'm like, it's early in this football game, but things have, the way the game has transpired, I think this is the biggest play of the game thus far for the Lobos.
Twins to the left, 2 tight ends set up. Both to the right of the formation for Lane in the gun on 3rd and 4. Plenty of time, has Cade Keith. What a one-handed grab by Keith as a flag comes out. The tight end brings it down near the 46-yard line of New Mexico State. Just a phenomenal catch and a pickup of 19.
Result of the play, first down.
Just a phenomenal catch right there. You see the concentration it takes right there. The DB's trying to get him down on the ground and almost a pass interference, but you see the concentration by Keith and a big play in this football game for the Lobos on 3rd down.
Keith, the TCU transfer, with a tremendous catch. His 5th as a Lobo. You know, New Mexico giving up first quarter points for the first time since the loss in Ann Arbor to open the year. Let's see how they respond to the adversity. So far, so good in the opponent's territory. Out on the flat for Thomas. Thomas turns it upfield, and he's got a first down. Just shy of the 35-yard line. That's a gain of 11. Martinez chasing him in pursuit, but Thomas is just a tremendous athlete.
He is a nightmare matchup for anybody. He started the season, obviously, what we talk about at Michigan with the 10 catches, and has been great ever since, finding ways to get him the football. If you're the Lobos, you have to find ways to get him the football and be creative, because other teams are going to start to game plan against him. That means they're going to focus on him so he doesn't play well.
That's his 19th catch of the year. He's second in the nation among tight ends in receptions. A play fake and a lot of time for Lane, and a deep out to Miller, who makes a leaping grab down near the 20-yard line. Give him 16 yards and another Lobo first down. And how about the touch from Jack Lane? He might not wow you with arm strength, pure arm strength, Dontrell, but he hides the ball beautifully. And how about this throw?
Yeah, it was an absolute dime right there. You have patience, you have moxie, you got to have guile as a quarterback to be able to make that throw. You hide it for a little bit and just drop it in the box is what we call it. Just drop it in the bucket, and that's what he was able to do for the first down.
Lobos so excited to have Sean Miller back and healthy at UCLA 2 weeks ago. And, of course, Keegan Johnson returns this week. Inside give, Bankston off left tackle. Aggies bottle it up. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Aggie 16. Lobos trying to answer the trick play touchdown of New Mexico State.
And that's exactly where you're at. You're inside that 20-yard line. It's called the red zone or the green zone for offenses, where those trick plays become highly important for the team to execute. Let's see what they draw up here on second down.
2 tight ends to the left, 2 wides to the right. Lane with a clutch. Lane will take off. Lane escapes the tackle, and Lane inside the 10, down near the 9, a yard shy of the line to gain. It'll be 3rd and 1 there.
Yeah, he just showed his patience right there. You see him eyeing, look at his first read, looks at his second read, looks at his third read, and now he's like, listen, I just got to get out of here.
Lobos go tempo, Dontrell. And there's Bankston. And Bankston has the first down with a pickup of 2. Coach Eck told us he felt like the Lobos might use a little bit more tempo this week. He thought that would be to their advantage. We've seen it on this drive.
Yeah, it was great to see right there. They pick up almost the first down with Jack Lane on the scramble play there, and then they hurry up and get on the line of scrimmage. Anytime you hurry up, it's because you are trying to catch the defense napping.
Inside of 5 minutes, late first. Twins to the right, single wide to the left, and a 2-back look here for Lane on a 1st and goal at the 7. Give it to Bankston. Bankston looking to turn the corner, and Bankston will fight all the way down to the 5-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal there.
And what's interesting to see for me early in this football game is the Lobo offensive line and their goal of 200 yards rushing per game and the dominance that they displayed over UCLA. And then honestly, the inadequacy of the Aggie defense up to date in the running game, and that's kind of been a stalemate. The Lobos haven't been able to run it with ease early in this football game.
The tailback is McKinney. Pistol set up here for Lane. That big fellow, the freshman offensive lineman, Jamar Tossie, in the game. To the left of the quarterback. A play fake. Lane hides the football, has a wide open tight end. It's Cade Keith for a Lobo touchdown from 5 yards out. And New Mexico's a PAT away from a tie.
Just love the call right there by Coach Slice, the offensive coordinator for the Lobos. The calmness of Jack Lane to execute. We talked about their relationship. I asked him earlier this week, why is it awesome to have somebody that's a relationship? He said, because I trust him. So he held on to it, had 2 people open right there. Touchdown Lobos.
Luke Drizwicki will probably be the all-time leader in Lobo football history in PATs converted before his time as a 4-year starter has concluded. He's on to swing the right leg here to tie the game. And he does so. That's a 10-play, 71-yard, 5-minute monster of a drive. And the Lobos pay it off. Lane to Keith from 5 yards. And it's 7-7 in the Rio Grande Rivalry. And the Lobos had just hired Coach Elliott. He jumped into the conversation, and Keith knew in that moment that he was coming to New Mexico.
Instant connection is what it is. When you have that as a football player being recruited, that is why you come to college football. That's why you choose what you choose. What is the feeling you got from the man that's going to be leading you?
Keith catches the 5-yard score that ties the game at 7, and New Mexico State's offense comes back out onto the field. They thought they might try to run it just a little bit more today, Dontrell, but so far they have not, and they haven't needed to. They have used the pass game to fantastic effect. 73 yards through the air. Their rush total is in the minus category right now because of the 2 sacks.
Yeah, and that's just where it's been all season for them, so we'll see what gives.
Empty backfield. Fife wants to throw, looking for the slant, and it's caught. Lucas Unger, the Stanford transfer, a tight end, for a gain of 5 to the 30-yard line.
And what's ironic about this, the Aggie defense is the thing that we've talked about, them trying to run the football. That was a point of emphasis. But as you see here on this throw, it's been the quick hits. Get the ball out early. Not really any deep throws other than the trick play, but that's just kind of been their offense. The Lobos have to figure out a way potentially to get underneath those, maybe get the pressure that they were getting in that first series.
They are literally at the bottom of FBS, last in the nation in rush yards per game at 47.7. 2nd and 5 from the gun on a play fake. Feeling pressure from Newby. Fife will step up and he goes down. Another Lobo sack. This one, Gabe Lopez, one of the returning captains for New Mexico, with a huge sack. And that's the 3rd Lobo sack today. New Mexico, coming into this game, had just 2 over their first 3 games.
Yeah, what you see right there on the replay is just getting around. You stay in your zone, you stay in your lanes. That's what they tell all defensive linemen, all defensive players know. Stay in your lanes, stay in your zones, and the quarterback will come to you. And that's what Gabe Lopez was able to do on that play. See if the Lobos can draw something up here on 3rd down to get off the field.
3rd and 8 from their own 27. Aggie quarterback Fife looking left, feeling backside pressure from James Newby. Throws deep, and what a catch. He comes down with it at the 46 on the juggle. An incredible play on the sideline by Donovan Football. That's incredible, Dontrell. That ball was sitting on his feet.
It was just incredible concentration. They get him on an out and up, and that's a route where you try to get him to fake and look forward and then come up and bite on the out and up. And if you're the Lobo defender right there, you just have to stay and guard the line of scrimmage and guard the first down marker. My apologies. And he just concentrated. His concentration was elite right there.
They're taking a look at New Mexico corner John Johnson, the Montana State transfer and SoCal kid who played tremendous football in the victory over UCLA not far from his hometown of Gardena in the Rose Bowl. That was 2 weekends ago. We're going to take a peek at this catch.
Yeah, and what you see is just Fife just throwing it up there, and Capel just, and it looks like it may have hit the turf. I don't know if that was my eyes deceiving me, but he put his hand underneath there, and you see the defender coming in. There's probably could have got him for pass interference, and no, that stays on the inside of it. On the inside of his left shin. What a spectacular catch.
Just tremendous defense as well by John Johnson.
Absolutely. Right where you're supposed to be. Contested. Maybe even a little early, but Capel focused and was able to bring in the catch on 3rd down.
29 yards to the New Mexico 44 in a 7-7 ball game with just over 2 minutes remaining here in the first. Motion to tight end Harris, and Fife throwing. This one intercepted at the 22. It's Abe Williams, the corner, with the pick for the Lobos.
And we talk about focus. It's on both sides of the football. What you simply see there is the concentration. You absolutely see the concentration right there by Abraham Williams. You see the seam route, and it's kind of underthrown, and he breaks under it at the last minute. Let's see if he keeps his hand under it. You know, they're going to review it. It looks like it may have hit the ground, but we will see. But a great effort, great explosion through the ball to try to get that interception. We'll see if it holds.
They'll take a good long look at this one, Dontrell.
Yeah. Unfortunately for the Lobos, I believe from my first angle, that it did hit the ground. Let's see if his hand was maybe there, because the ball can hit the ground as long as you're under control. So again, we'll take another look at it. Get some pressure right here. You see Fife throwing a seam route, and as you get down underneath there, you see that the ball kind of comes out and hits the ground there. So we'll see what they decide to call. Again, you have to understand what the call on the field is, right? It was called an interception, and now can they see indisputable evidence based off this replay to say that it was an incomplete, and that matters.
You make a really good point about the ground, and the ball can hit the ground.
It can.
But you have to have control when that happens. And the question becomes, does the ball help him secure the catch?
Correct.
And if that's the case, then it'll be an incompletion.
Correct. If they deem that the ground helped him secure the catch, then it cannot hit the ground in that regards, and they're going to say, and it's not. And I think it comes out the back end there. But again, we'll see what they decide. And we've ran into a lot of these over the years. It's important to note that the call on the field is particularly important.
It does appear, Dontrell, that
Correct.
he doesn't fully secure the football until he's pinned it against his side with his elbow.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then the ground participated in the catch, and
That would
it'll
make
be
it
overturned.
incomplete. Yep. Nonetheless, a great play by Mr. Williams there.
After review, the ball hit the ground before the defender had firm control of the pass. It's incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. New Mexico State at the 44-yard line.
So two huge replay reviews here on this same drive, and both reviews go the way of Coach Sanchez and the Aggies.
Yep, that's the way the cookie crumbles, right? There'll be some ones that go your way, some that don't. And if you're the Aggies, you have to make the most of it. If you're the Lobos, you have to buckle in.
Dejon Stanley is the tailback, and Stanley gets the give straight up the hash for a nice pickup of 7 or maybe 8 before Tavian Combs brings him down. Combs had a huge pick to help seal up the win over UCLA 2 weeks ago at the Rose Bowl. Third down and 4. 1.5 to go, first quarter in a tie football game. Motion the tight end Harris, and give it inside on a first down and more for Callaway, and he's down near the 30-yard line. Move the chains 8 yards, and Aggie first down.
Yeah, and you just see them running the ball between the tackles, something they don't do well. And you know, Dejon Stanley, the ball carrier in the Flavors play, is only averaging 3 yards a carry. Like you said, last in the nation in rushing, but able to open up the Lobos there and hit him for a big gash.
Callaway hit for a 17-yard touchdown run against Bryant in their opener at Aggie Memorial. Fife on a play fake. Fife will be brought down. Keyshawn James Newby is a serious problem right now, Dontrell.
He really is. He's getting off the football. He's explosive. Aside from those 2 penalties early in that first drive where he was wreaking havoc prior to that, you can see his motor. You can see his ability. You can see his football moxie and IQ. Getting blocked by two defenders, getting a face mask, and will not be denied. And those are the things that happen in a rivalry game where you see the energy and the willpower, and will not be denied, and was able to come up with the sack there.
They'll give Gabe Lopez a piece of that sack as well. 2nd down and 18 at the 37-yard line. Fife looking to throw out in the flat here to Callaway. Callaway hurdles the man and then takes a huge shot. Tavian Combs is there.
Frankie Edwards. You see it throw out to the flats right there and just get wally-walked by Combs and Edwards there. You see the energy.
Stanley headed to the locker room for New Mexico State, and we'll head to a break. Lobos 7, Aggies 7. We're through 15 minutes in the 115th edition of the Rio Grande Rivalry. Stay with us on Altitude Sports. Aggies trying to convert a 3rd and 15. They've converted 2 third downs on this drive already. Fife in the pocket. Left flat here to Callaway. Nothing doing. Frankie Edwards is there. Jackson Eck with the help. Not even back to the original line of scrimmage. Field goal unit for New Mexico State.
And that's exactly huge, exactly what you want to see. There's still pressure on the outside, so Fife had to get rid of it early. But again, you get a ball carrier, the ball in space. What you have to do as a defender is break down and tackle in space. As an offensive player, you get the ball on 3rd and long, and you get in space. Your job is to make somebody miss and try to pick up that first down. Lobos were not able to do that, Aggies were not able to do that on that play.
47-yarder for Ryan Hawk. His career long, 51 last year. Strikes it cleanly, and it splits the uprights. Big kick for Hawk, the Valpo transfer. And the Aggies are back in front, 10-7. Early here in the second quarter.
You know, the Lobos gave up 2 first downs on that drive alone, and just kind of to stay in there and to keep focus and allow only the field goal attempt is a win for the Lobos. But you see the Aggies here pushing that ball 47 yards to take the lead in this game early in the second quarter.
The graduate transfer Hawk, 4 years at Valparaiso before making his way to New Mexico State. He's from Columbus, Ohio, and he gives the Aggies the advantage, 10-7. He's now 5 of 7 on field goals this season. That's his longest of the year. 46-yarder against Tulsa in their big Week 2 win in Cruces. A win, by the way, that looks a lot better now that Tulsa has gotten Mike Gundy fired at Oklahoma State. They beat the Cowboys, and Gundy is out.
Yeah. And in rivalry games like this, you alluded to all the field goals, and that was his season long. But in rivalry games, the special teams is a third part of everything, right? You have your offense, defense, special teams. Those special teams plays are the things that can make or break these games. When they're going to be close, you throw out records, you throw out whatever it is, that the best man or best team's going to win, and special teams is an integral part of whether your team could win at the end.
Let's see if they kick short again. The last time they did, Hawk kicked short, and Abe Williams got a chance to return it. The Lobos had pretty good starting field position. Nope. And sail this one out the back of the end zone with a big tailwind. And the Lobos will start at the 25, trailing 10-7, early second quarter here at University Stadium.
And if you're the Lobos, you stay the course. You got to try to get the running game going on track. You know, they've only rushed for, I believe, about 25 yards early in this football game, and not on pace to do what they like to do. Got to start opening some things up, kind of be a little more electric, maybe get the ball in space to your guys and get your screen game going.
Jack Lane, there you see him, jersey number 2, the Lobos starting quarterback. 31 completions against Michigan in the opener in Ann Arbor. That's 5th most all-time in a single game in Lobo football history. Don't want to throw it that much today if you can help it. They're going to run the reverse here. Here comes Johnson. Johnson gets the corner. Can he get another block? He'll be brought down near the 30 for a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 there.
Yeah, and the Lobos happy to have Mr. Johnson back right there. They try a reverse, and then maybe they'll have a pass off of this. But, again, execution about trick plays. The Lobos had a guy for a guy, but the other guy wanted it more. And that's what the difference is in rivalry games. If you want it more than the other guy, even though you're outflanked and outnumbered, you're going to get to the tackle. And that's what he's able to do, because I think the Lobos had a big gain drawn up right there, but it only went for about 5 yards.
Scott Trey Humphrey at the tailback position. Sets up to the left of the quarterback lane. And Lane's going to flip it to Thomas. And Thomas spins past a tackler and finds the 34. He'll be 1 yard shy of the line to gain. It'll be 3rd and 1 from there.
And you just see the little wrinkle right there to get DT the ball. They fake it, bring Scott Trey in the game. He's going to have lots of eyes on him, and then they dump it over to DT to almost pick up the first down.
Lobos use tempo, and they'll pick up the first time. Scott Trey Humphrey up the hash marks for a gain of 3 and move the chains. Scott Trey was rolling 2 weeks ago against the Bruins. Big number 22 had 48 yards on just 6 carries and a touchdown, and then he sprained his ankle. All that work came in the first quarter. Good week of practice that bye week certainly helped get him ready for this rivalry game. Lane has twins to the right and a couple of tight ends, Thomas to the right of the formation. Lane is looking to throw. Plenty of time. Lobs it out in the flat to Humphrey, and Humphrey lowers the head to the 40-yard line. The ball comes out. It's scooped up here near sideline, and this could go the other way for a New Mexico State touchdown. That's Burnock Aya.
Yeah, we'll see what the call is, and maybe his knee was down or not. But again, he's trying to lower the shoulder, which they tell you got to protect that ball. It's going to be toward the middle right there. You see if it kind of comes out, but not what the Lobos wanted.
They fumble, return for a touchdown.
What do we see here, Dontrell?
Yep. So you see Jack Lane just getting the ball out. It's a great GOT, get out of trouble. And you see Scottre just trying to lower the boom and get his shoulder down. But again, just puts his head on the football just like they teach, and it comes out there before he's on the ground.
The ruling on the field of a fumble is under further review.
And it's definitely out. It's definitely out early, and
it's going to be a 42-yard scoop and score for the Aggies. You talk about shock plays, Dontrell. Sudden change type plays. New Mexico State's had a couple of them, right? The trick play for the touchdown, and now the scoop and score.
And what they'll have to determine is if the ball was loose before his bottom hit the ground, and it does look like it's moving depending on their angle. Was there any movement of the ball before his derriere hits the ground? Was there any control? And it's a little closer than I originally anticipated, but I believe it's a fumble and another call that will go the Aggies' way. And again, early in this football game, miscues, discipline, structure, all those things that take part in a rivalry game.
Coach Eck talked about it. Better ball security from his backs. Lamenting the fumble inside the 5 on a 4th and 1 when Dede Buchanan had the first down against the Bruins. And the ball popped out. And, it's interesting. Coach Eck talked about coaching up, creating fumbles. And he said, when you're coming downhill on a runner, what we're looking to have happen there is get the hat on the ball.
Yes.
Take the face mask to the ball to try to create a fumble, and it appears that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's literally.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. Touchdown.
Literally how you coach it up if you're an Aggie. You put your defenders, your face mask on the football, and you got to hold on to it if you're Scottre. I can recall making that transition myself from high school into college and understanding the difficulty of transition ball security, and you have to have that ball secured to your ribs. 5 points of pressure is what we call it, and you have to have it secured to your rib and your forearm throughout the entirety of the tackle because it's just a different level, a different intensity.
PAT is good for Ryan Hawk. And a 17-7 New Mexico State lead, and you can see that ball is on the ground before his rear end hits the ground.
Yeah, that is correct. You see it, and then they pick it up and they scoop and score. The fumble comes out, and Coach Sanchez is putting his hands up, and he's excited, and he said they're going to come down and play football. They're going to do what they know how to do, and they felt comfortable about their week of preparation. They felt comfortable about their game plan for this football game.
It's the Aggies' first scoop and score since 2018. And it gives them a 2-possession lead with 12:18 remaining here in the first half. Pretty important possession, you would think, for New Mexico here to answer these 10 unanswered points from the Aggies. Kickoff sails over the head of Bankston. The Lobos will have it at the 25. Now a word from Apple. that the east tailgate lot was already full. That's the excitement that has been generated by this game. Direct snap here to McKinney. McKinney fakes it to Lane and takes it for a pickup of 4. Brought down at the 29-yard line by Torrey Geathers.
Yeah, and you see McKinney, just the third head of that triple-headed monster between Scott Trey Humphrey and Damon Bankston, maybe having a bigger role with Scott Trey fumble potentially and the ankle injury, but they are more than capable, and they are more than excited about his ability, and there's no drop-off, they believe, between those 3 guys.
2-back set for Lane coming up. Day and DJ. And it is DJ with Day leading the convoy. And he'll have the 35-yard line and a New Mexico first down. 6-yard pickup for McKinney. Geathers brings him down. Some help from Hale.
Yeah, I like that they bring Big Jamar in there to pull the extra lineman. And he gets on the outside, and they're able to seal the edge and pick up the first down.
Jamar Tassi played 2 ways in the South Puget Sound League in Seattle at Roosevelt High. Big number 58 Dontrell's talking about. Empty backfield now for Lane on a 1st and 10 at the 35. Jack circling to his right, throwing near sideline, diving attempt out of bounds, incomplete, looking for Buchanan.
When I think about offense, it's about rhythm, right? Can you get into a rhythm, in the calls and things like that? And it looks like the Lobos are just a little out of rhythm. You see Lane getting outside right there, doing a smart play, just throwing away, which is exactly what you want your veteran signal caller to do. Throw the ball away, make good decisions, live to fight another day.
Lobos down 10. 2nd and 10 at their own 35. Single setback. Buchanan motions out to the right. It'll be a 5 wide receiver setup for Lane. And they're going to throw it to Thomas on the screen, and it's incomplete, and Dorian took a shot.
Wow. Again, they're trying to set up the screen right there, see? And you see Christensen getting off on the block, and then because of the tip, and he just plows into the DT on that screen play.
One of those jailbreak or tunnel screens, and we knew that would be part of the Lobo game plan today. But a nice read by New Mexico State, not taking the bait.
Absolutely. It's called redirect. You feel like you're getting to the quarterback. You feel like you got there easy. You redirect, and you get toward the ball.
A 3rd and long for the Lobos. Lane against 4-man pressure has plenty of time. He's got Keegan Johnson at midfield for a New Mexico first down. All the way to the 47 of the Aggies. That'll be a gain of 18 and move the chains.
So what you see right there is just a simple pitch and catch. You see the protection. You see the lane open up. You just steps right in, and that's football right there. Can you have a receiver and a quarterback who can link up and pick you up an easy big gain on 3rd down?
A little sunshine as Lane on the play fake is going to tuck it away and take off. Tripped up at the 40 and spills forward near the 38. Give him progress to the 39.
Looks like Tyler Murphy.
Gain of 8. That's Tyler Martinez.
Yeah. The Aggies can ill afford to lose that man. He is their heart and their soul. But you see on that replay where Jack Lane just takes what the defense gives him, gets up inside on the scramble play. No one open.
See that club on his right hand, Dontrell.
Yep.
Broke his hand in the opener against Bryant State in the game for a while. The pain was finally too fierce. He had to come out. He had an interception with that club last week. What a nice move there by Damon Bankston on a 2nd and short. Picks up the first down to the 31 for a gain of 8. The Lobo run game starting to churn out some yardage. Jamal Thompson with the hit, the Sanford transfer. That's a player, a DN for the Aggies that Kochek was really worried about today. Again, Lobos go tempo. Lane all the time in the world. He's got Miller on the post. Lobo touchdown!
It's exactly what you want right there. The confidence, the running game is running, the running game is rolling. You now play action, get those DBs or even those linebackers to step up, and now there's a window of opportunity behind, and you have to throw a strike, and you see it right here. Look off your defender, look him off to the left, step up and throw. You know you're going to get hit if you're Miller. You just keep your eye on this football, you tuck it in, touchdown Lobos.
31-yard touchdown reception for Sean Miller. Handling #1 punt return duties for New Mexico for the first time today. Already a big game for Miller. PAT from Dwizwicki is good. Lobos move within 3 at 17-14. A beautiful spiral from Jack Lane right on the money to Sean Miller, who hangs on. Lobos down by 3.
That's it.
And Miller is finally getting that. Returnable kick here against the wind. It'll be taken in at the 4-yard line, and a big hit at the 19.
The oohs and the ahs of a big hit. I just love to hear it.
Wind is definitely a factor here today. There is no doubt.
Yeah, you see him coming through, and then boom, somebody high, somebody low, and that's college football right there. That is
offside. Number 8, kicking team. 5-yard penalty. We'll replay the free kick.
So New Mexico State will get to do it again, because the Lobos were offside on the kick. One of the up men, Ruddison, with that return, took a shot from Frankie Edwards in special teams.
Yeah, and if you're the Aggies here, you know the wind's a factor. You want to try to get a return, maybe get the ball to your return man. So that's why you have him re-kick it here. Yeah, guy right on the hash. You see him just a little overzealous there. Again, it's ironic. You know, there's been 3 or 4 penalties for the Lobos thus far, and you know, more than they've had, or more than they typically have up until this point in the football game.
Steinkamp kickoff again. Better one this time. 4 yards deep. Footing lost. And very good decision by Kadarius Callaway. After losing his footing, it's a touchback.
With the game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 9:21, please. 9:21.
He'll put a second back on the clock, and New Mexico State takes over 1st and 10 up by 3.
Thank you.
You know, Lobos have definitely dealt with some adversity here in the first half, Dontrell, but the way they responded to it at UCLA 2 weeks ago, you knew that they wouldn't waver.
Yeah, they know what they're capable of. They know they have to stay the course, and they know the ups and downs and ebb and flow of football games.
Fife rolling right, firing right, incomplete, a little low. Looking for the tight end, Harris. Harris came in with more than 40 receiving yards per game through 3 games, second in all of Conference USA. Dangerous weapon at the tight end position.
Yeah, the Central Michigan transfer has been their guy to kind of emerge. Gets the ball to him in screens. They're very confident in his ability. A big guy.
Big dude, 240 pounds. There he goes in motion. Settles in behind the right side of the formation. Inside give. Callaway. Gain of 3.
And again, the way football operates, the way the ebbs and flow of football go, these are these moments on either side of the ball where you have to take onus of the moment and try to seize it. If you're the Lobos, you know you get the ball coming out of halftime, and can you change the line of scrimmage, or can you change the field position, force them to punt, get you an opportunity to get a touchdown before the end of half.
Aggies 2 of 4 on 3rd down today. 4 wide receiver setup for Fife. Throws the slant, incomplete. Excellent coverage. Nothing doing. He was looking for Johnson. Caleb Coleman with outstanding coverage.
And this is great on 3rd down. You see the defensive tenacity right there. You see on the replay, they just try to run a double slant. but he was not fooled at all. He was right where he was supposed to be, forces the punt.
That is a super senior, a 6th-year player, Caleb Coleman. Hutchinson, a JC in Kansas, then West Virginia, then Texas State. Sean Miller's going to let this one drop. It hits at the 36. Miller will track it, grab it late. Bad decision. Aggie football.
Again, decisions in games, right? Have you been back there? What do you do? Let it go. You're coached to do the right thing, which is matriculating. Just let it go or be decisive. And again, just decision-making right there that is going to cost the Lobos in this situation.
It's just a matter of field position, Dontrell. And at the finish, when he realizes he's just got to get out of the way.
And if you're going to try to get that ball, don't try to advance it. Grab it, get down, stop it from there. But you see it rolling. Just an absolute this poor decision-making, and Miller knows that, and he'll have to learn and grow from that. But again, the Aggies in position to take advantage of the miscue.
Going in the field with the ball was muffed by the return team and recovered by the kicking team. First down, New Mexico State.
Another sudden change play goes the way of the Aggies, and they're set up in the red zone at the New Mexico 19. They look to throw the screen, and a poor throw from Fife takes his receiver, P.J. Johnson, to the turf.
And again, I talk about the execution. I believe that was a trick play that they were going to maybe throw out after the screen and throw it to Kadarius Callaway coming out of the backfield, but we'll see if they kind of come back to that. But the poor throw by Fife didn't allow it to happen.
It's a loss of 4. 2nd and 14. Fife in the gun. Batted down at the line of scrimmage. Xavier Slayton got the big paw up.
Yeah, as a D lineman, if you can't get to the ball or to the quarterback, they tell you just get your hands up. If you're at a stalemate and you see him do it right there, he's not going to advance anymore. Just get your hand up and knock it down. And here we are, 3rd down, another 3rd down in this football game. The Aggies 2-5 in the game thus far.
Lobos trying to hold the Aggies to a field goal attempt. 3rd and 14. Play clock is at 10. Fife feeling pressure. Keyshawn James Newby gets home. 3rd sack for number 1.
And that's what you want if you're the Lobos. He's been unblockable all day. The Aggies are going to have to figure out a way to either scheme to him or push to him. But now when you see the fumble there, and they don't bend. They bend a little bit, but don't break. And you see him just get off the edge right from the very beginning. There was no chance for the young Aggie offensive lineman to block Keyshawn James Newby on the edge, and now they force the punt and a loss of 15 on that possession after the fumble where they were almost inside the red zone.
This would equal his career long for Valpo against Roosevelt last year. 51 yards for Ryan Hawk. Off the upright, no good. The defense delivers a muffed punt, and the Aggies have field position inside the 20. The Lobos hold. Sack forces a 51-yard field goal attempt, and it's off the upright, no good. The muffed punt does not cost New Mexico. The Lobos could tie or lead. Flip it to McKinney here, and you'll have to turn it upfield for 2. 2nd and 8 at the Lobo 35.
A little extracurricular right there. We'll see what happens. Again, that's the part of the rivalry game. Can you be calm under pressure where people are going to get under your skin? And those plays will just absolutely hurt your football team. You see Coach Eck.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 10, New Mexico, number 2, New Mexico State. That's both players' first unsportsmanlike conduct fouls of the game. Those fouls will offset. It's 2nd down.
So file that away.
and you see at the bottom of the pile, I know exactly what happens right there. You're under the pile, and the defender tries to stand over you or maybe takes a shot underneath the pile right there, and you just react. And then you see Coach Eck just say, hey, listen, I know this. Hey, we need you, man. We need you. Let's stay focused. Ignore those things. Now, here we are.
DJ McKinney and Armand Hale. Bankston gets the call. Bankston has a lot of room. Finds the 40, gain of 6. Give him 7. 2nd and 3. Weber State transfer. Go ahead, Dontrell.
The Weber State transfer there, you see. But again, if you're the Lobos, you've got to watch the clock, and you have to be thinking aggressive here because you know what happens after half, and you get the football.
More tempo and more Bankston. Bankston with the cutback. The pursuit's there. No gain.
And they tried to go tempo there to kind of catch them off guard on 3rd and short, and nothing doing. Let's see what they decide right here at 4th and, you know, a long 2 or 3.
Bankston, 16th in all of FBS and 2nd in the Mountain West in all-purpose yardage at 136 per game. And the Lobos come up short, and Hughes will punt it away.
And sometimes you can out-trick yourself right there. I'm not saying Coach Slice did, but sometimes if you go hurry up, you can also get your offense out of sync. They miss a block. They're not where they're supposed to be. And then, you know, the simple 2 or 3 yard run plays end up being, you know, no gain. And here we are on 4th down, and Lobos forced to punt.
Delay a game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
That'll back the Lobos up 5. TJ Pride is deep for New Mexico State. Daniel Hughes at 27 years old, the 5th oldest FBS player here in 2025. The Lobo punter. The Aussie awaits the snap. Strikes this one. Low driving kick. Bounces forward. Can the Lobos down it? They can. Around the 7-yard line. Abe Williams grabs it. That is perfect. 58 yards on the bounce and roll. And the Aggies are backed up. Let's get a word from Apple.
Want the latest on today's games? Just tell Siri, show me Mountain West football scores.
You can see on the sideline there, those iPads. Can you imagine what it would have been like when you were playing to have that kind of technology available to you?
Oh, it's such a cool technology to be able to kind of see what they're doing and see what happens.
First down throw.
Energy.
Caught at the 11. That's Brody Malone Bradford.
And let's see if the Lobos can keep the Aggies down here. This is the Aggies' worst starting field position of the day.
2nd and long, 6. Inside handoff to Isaiah Rutterson. El Paso, Texas kid. Nothing there.
Well, you just see the safety in numbers. They run kind of a power play with a guy pulling backwards. You're going to kick out the end, and you just see multiple people into play right there. Safety in numbers if you're the Lobos.
Darren Agu stood him up in the hole. Little pressure fight for the deep ball, and a diving catch made at the 34-yard line by Jackson Owens. A gain of 22. Just a spectacular catch.
Yeah, and I would just check. To me, it looks like maybe the backside of his shoulder hit the out of bounds, but that's why they're getting up and running a play quick. I think it was close. Matters not now.
Inside give to Callaway. Callaway nailed Frankie Edwards coming up from his cornerback position. Gain of a couple.
What they tell you is to get up there and run a play really quick so they can't check it, but just see if anything comes down before. Yeah, he's in. He's in. He got the right foot in, but I thought maybe his back landed earlier, but good catch, good call.
A foot and a knee, both it looked like.
Yep.
Plenty of time on the play clock here for Logan Fife out of Tracy, California. That's NorCal way. 2nd and 8. Throw it to Callaway out of the backfield. Little stutter step. Tiptoes on the near sideline. To the 40, gain of 6, 3rd and 2. Three minutes left till halftime. Critical juncture here, late 2nd quarter. Lobos have been able to get pressure throughout. Third and 2. Keeper, quarterback power. And he got it.
Yeah, interesting wrinkle right there. They said, we're not going to get it to the backs. We're going to direct snap it, get a couple lead blocks in there, and let Mr. Fife try to push his way through, and they're able to pick up the first down.
It's almost like they did the tush push out of the gun.
Out of the gun, which is interesting.
Clock winding at 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, you think about it, they've minus 12 rushing yards.
All those Lobo sacks, play fake, and the screen is batted down by Keyshawn James Newby. He has been an absolute game wrecker for New Mexico so far this afternoon.
He really is. He's gotten off the edge. He's had multiple sacks. He's been unblockable. He's reading the play here. Again, I'm really good today, but I'm there for a reason. It's a screen, so he gets his hands up and able to knock it down.
He said having his baby Jaya come on Tuesday of game week against UCLA was just this massive weight lifted off of him, and he played so freely against the Bruins. The Lobos defeated UCLA 35-10, their first ever Big Ten win. Dominated the game, rushing for almost 300 yards.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Yeah, they all played freely, right? They just were rolling in the trenches, and you see the false start there.
B.J. Tolo, the right guard. They're playing with a new center today because Kai Wheeler is out. Santos Valdez, the quarterback, Fife, keeps it. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Keyshawn James Newby with the tackle. Lobos have their full allotment of timeouts.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout.
With the game clock
Can New Mexico get off the field?
Game clock to 2 minutes.
Aggies have been 50% on 3rd down so far today. 4 of 8. Fife rolling to his right. Fife throwing. Has his man. It's caught. And very close to the line to gain. Donovan Fappel. 1 yard shy, it appears.
Yeah, 1 yard shy. They just do a flood route. You get 3 or 4 people out in the flats. You roll out with Fife. And interesting that the Lobos had the deep guy covered, but didn't have it covered underneath. But great closing to make it a 4th and short, and a decision that has to be made. And if you're the Aggies in this type of football game, you're probably going to go for it.
It's 4.5 yards. Coach Sanchez and the Aggies are one of the teams that goes for it on 4th least in college football. They go with the tush push, and let's see if Fife has a first down. Looks like they're going to give it to him inside the 47. Indeed, first down, New Mexico State. 1:50 left. Late 2nd. Fife in the gun. Redison, the tailback, looking for the slant. Fappel caught. 43. Gain of 4.
And right where
Fappel's fourth catch.
Yeah, Fappel, just great concentration. They're going to go to the hurry up, and Lobos have to figure out a way to get pressure.
5 in the pattern. Looking on the post for the tight end. It wasn't there. Looking for Unger. Excellent coverage from Mercury Swaim.
Yeah,
Lobo linebacker.
Yeah, you see Swaim right there dropping in coverage and is right where he's supposed to be. You have the under coverage and you have the over, right? Bracket coverage is what we call it. Somebody sitting over the top, somebody sitting underneath in a small window for a Fife to try to fit it in, and nothing doing.
3rd and 5. The tailback's Callaway. Motion for Pell. Rolling is Fife. Nowhere to go. Jackson Eck with the sack. All the way back at the Aggie 47.
You see the downhill explosion right there by the coach's son. He reads the play. You see it happening, and you see Jackson kind of rolling out, waiting, goes underneath the blade and makes the tackle.
6 sacks for New Mexico in this first half. They had 2 for the season coming into this game, Dontrell. Talking with the Lobos staff, they felt like they could get some pressure against this offensive line, and what they've been able to do is get it with their front. They have not had to do anything special to get that pressure, and that's a game changer.
That is an absolute game changer, and what my partner is simply talking about is you don't have to blitz. You're not having to blitz. You're not having to roll up stunts and figure out special schematic ways to create pressure. If your front 4 or your front 5 can create pressure, beating their one-on-one people, beat the guy in front of you, mano y mano, that's what the Lobos have been able to do.
Dean just does get it away. Miller will let it bounce, and it kicks into the end zone for the touchback. 1:17 left. 2 timeouts remaining. Luminaries at this football game, Dontrell. It's brought them from all over. Hero, John Bones Jones, local guy. But how about this guy? Your buddy Jeff Garcia is here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Jeff and I, ran into each other, played in Tampa together, and right next to him is my other buddy, Quincy Black, who also played in Tampa together. But just an awesome to see people come out, support the Lobos in this game, in this atmosphere, the 115th version. You see Jeff Garcia, former NFL quarterback with the Niners, and, glad he was able to come out and glad we could connect for the first time in a while.
Multiple Pro Bowls for Garcia. Swing it out of the backfield. Bankston out of bounds far sideline after a gain of 1. 1:11 remaining in the first half. Lobos down 3 with the ball and 2 timeouts.
Yeah, and he tried to get DeMond Bakeson the ball in the flats. We know what he's able to do on the screen play, the big play against UCLA. 166 all-purpose yards in that game based on the screenplay. But again, the Lobos have a minute 11, Robert. What you want to see them do is see them be aggressive here, knowing that they get the ball at halftime. See if they can get down and get in field goal range.
Score at the end of the half. Score to start the next half. Empty backfield for Lane. Steps up, rolls right. Has time, has a man. It's Miller caught. First down near side. Steps out at the 31. That's a gain of 10. A Lobo first down.
What I love right there is the calm, controlled moxie you have. You got to be tough right there. You see the Lane here just observing the field, looking, coming off, accelerate, getting out of the way, and just making a toss out there for a first down. Got to love that for your veteran signal caller.
4th catch for Miller today. 5th on the season. Forward receiver set up for Lane. Inside screen for Keegan Johnson. Nothing there. Jamal Thompson Jr. off the edge, getting off his block. Gain of 3.
Yeah. The screenplays are so good in these kind of situations because it's a low risk, high reward.
Lane fires near sideline. Dorian Thomas can't make the grab near the 40.
And if you're Jack Lane, you just got to set your feet right there, right? A lot of time here. You have a lot of plays. There's nothing to be rushed. It's not a screenplay. You see DT a little frustrated right there. Probably wants to get involved in this football game. And I know Coach Slice and company, the offensive coordinator for the Lobos, will figure out a way to get him involved.
DT, Dorian Thomas slot left. Johnson. The game-breaking wide out. Split right. This is Keegan. Just shy of first down yardage on the catch at the 41. Wow. 42 seconds left. 4th and 1. And Kochek is ultra aggressive. This would be the height of aggressive right here.
Yeah, just a tempo throw right there that you see. And maybe Keegan needs to run that a little deeper, get himself, and he knows that, right? Been a part of a lot of football, a lot of big-time football. Just has to run that a yard deeper, and it's a first down. And now you set up, potential 4th down opportunity right here that shouldn't have been.
Heavy package in. Jay Martassi, the extra lineman. The big fella tight end, Simon Mappa. Lobos spend a timeout.
Charge from out of half. New Mexico, 30 seconds.
Got to make sure you get this one right.
Absolutely. It's imperative that you get it right, and here's why. If you get it right, you can control your fate at this halftime and maybe get, 15, 20 more yards to get into field goal position. And if you don't, they're right where they want to be, and they could either have a big play or get themselves in field goal position. So, again, what's the risk versus the reward? Do I get this and pick up the first down? If I do, I got to be aggressive. If I don't get it, then I know that I'm on my heels and the Aggies are in business on this side of the 50.
What about the play call here, Dontrell, on 4th and 1?
Yeah, I always struggle with this day and age. For me, it's get under center and then you have a zone, get downhill, but they go shotgun. So to me, you're initially at a deficit. But again, it's maybe an RPO where you can run pass or something outside.
Banks in the tailback from the pistol. Lobos go on 4th and 1 in minus territory, and I think he's short. Penetration for New Mexico State. And the Aggies hold.
Yeah, again, penetration on all run plays are just devastating.
With the game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 39 seconds. 39, please.
And you see just the penetration underneath it. The play was doomed before it starts. Again, I like the aggressive call. You just have to execute. And that's what happens. Everyone, the coach will get blamed for that, which, they get the goods and the bads. But the reality is if you call a play and you trust your team. I remember when coaches didn't trust their teammates or their players in these situations. So trust them to go out there and execute. Just was not able to get it done on that play.
So now the Aggies with a 3-point lead in 39 seconds and 3 timeouts. Great setup here at the Lobo 41. Fife in the gun with trips to his right. Throws the slant. It's caught. That's Vipel. Williams drags him down at the 23. Gain of 18.
Yep. Just a quick hitter, a quick slant. You have bracket coverage, and if your linebacker doesn't get the tip on that ball underneath, it's off to the races, and Vipel was off to the races on that throw.
Hurry up here. Ball's in the air, and it's intercepted. Xavier Slate with a diving pick.
First down, New Mexico.
Again, sometimes you just have to be lucky. And they get there, they have safety in numbers, the deflection, and it pops up. And again, now the 4th and short stop doesn't bite you.
Terrific diving interception by Slayton. Great defense on the ball from John Johnson to create that deflection. Second consecutive game, the Lobos have gotten a massive pick on a deflection. Tavian Combs had it against UCLA 2 weeks ago.
It's huge, right? You get John Johnson in there, you get the interception, you get the deflection, but then you have the effort and the want to get there, and the Lobos get the interception. And
sometimes the simple slant isn't so simple, is it?
Not when you play good defense.
Backside run here, and a big gainer right there. The bank is open finally for Damon Bankston. Lobos are averaging under 4 yards a pop so far today on the ground.
Yeah, we know, Robert, that the Aggie defensive guys have talked about their emphasis in trying to stop the run and stop this, this vaunted Lobo offense in the run game, and they've been able to do it thus far.
Inside 10 seconds now here at the end of the second quarter. The Lobos take a timeout.
3rd and final, charge from out of half. New Mexico, 30 seconds. With the game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 10 seconds, please. 1-0.
Tough to make anything happen with 10 seconds. Feel like you really dodged a bullet.
You definitely dodged a bullet with the 4th and short, at the 40 plus, at your own 40, and You get the interception there, and now you just kind of run this out and get to half and regroup. You know, you get the ball back and after halftime and make your adjustments, and the team that makes the most adjustments, the best adjustments, win the football game.
Looks like victory formation here at the end of the half. Just snap it one more time.
Yeah.
And get to the locker room. The Aggies will take their 3 timeouts into the locker room with them. And the final ticks come off the second quarter clock. A wildly entertaining first half of football in the 115th edition of the Rio Grande Rivalry. The New Mexico State Aggies leading the Lobos 17-14, and we hope to hear from Lobo head football coach Jason Eck before he heads into the locker room. Dontrell, your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, just the ebbs and flows of football, right? That's exactly how I look at it. You know, a couple of trick plays and change of possession plays, and then the Lobos, you know, the big passes, and I think it's the way a rivalry game goes. It's exactly what it's going to be, and
trailing from the outset. They'll get the first possession of the half, down by 3. Bouncing kickoff gets by Abe Williams, and Jack Lane will bring his troops to the 25. Nice first half for Lane. 13-17, $129, 2 touchdowns. And it was needed because the New Mexico run game didn't really get going until late second quarter, Dontrell. They ended up with 79 rush yards. But early on, it was all Lane.
I completely agree. You know, they have that goal due to Lobos to have at least 200 yard rushings and 200 yards rushing a game, and they're behind that pace now. So if it wasn't for Lane being able to stand in there, make some really effective throws, some throws on third down, then the Lobos might not be where they are.
Play fake. There's Miller. First down and more. Miller having a career game.
Just a strike. We were just talking about Lane and his ability to throw. Again, taking what the defense gives you. You see this here. You see him standing there being really confident. You ride the running back there, and you just throw a rhythm throw on top of the linebacker, beneath the safety, right in that window of opportunity in that pocket that you have to have a precise throw, and that's how Jack has been all day today.
21 to Miller. 5th catch for Sean. He's trending toward a 100-yard receiving day. Motion Keegan Johnson right to left across the formation. Handed off inside to DJ McKinney. Nailed in the Lobo Shield logo after a gain of 3.
And again, Robert, in talking to the defensive coordinator from the Aggies this week, we knew that was going to be their point of emphasis, right? To get to the line of scrimmage, to get down, to create issues with the Lobo run game, and they've done that well. But again, Jack Lane has stood the test and created opportunities for Lobos to be right in this football game.
Scott Trey Humphrey in the backfield. They split McKinney out wide right. Humphrey had the first half fumble. McKinney's going to make the grab. Turns it upfield. Has a first down. Slides out of bounds. 43-yard line of the Aggies. New Mexico first down.
Yeah, again, you just see the confidence in the throw right there. You see what he's feeling and able to do. Listen, not necessarily what they want to do, but, you know, Coach Morris and company, the defense coordinator for the Aggies, is taking away the run. So you have to be able to not be one-dimensional, and you see that Jack Lane's able to do that right there. Pitch and catch, we call those practice throws. Those that you make in practice on air, you're doing that right now.
Play fake for Lane. Single coverage. Fade. Oh, Miller dropped it. Miller dropped it at the 10. A perfect ball from Lane.
An absolute dot. Dropped it in the box. Miller looked at the last minute. You see this ball float up. Could not have thrown it better. What I like is Jack, he looks off the defender, look off the high safety, which means you look to the right, so he pulls to the right, and you throw one-on-one to Miller off the backside, and just an absolute dot. And Miller just took his eye off at last second and wasn't able to haul it in.
You know, we've got a little bit of sunshine right now at University Stadium. Hasn't been a lot of that so far this afternoon. I wonder if that was a factor. Trips to the left. Single wide to the right. Humphrey, the tailback, gets the give. 2nd and 10 carry, goes for a yard, maybe 2, and a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Yeah, the sun might have changed a little bit again, but as an athlete, you say, hey, I got to make that catch. I lock it in, and I watch it all the way in and hit my hands. Typically with the sun, you're going to miss the ball altogether. Does that make sense? You're not going to see it. Right there, it hit his hands. He just had to watch it all the way in.
Important early conversion opportunity for the Lobos. You figure they have 2 downs at this spot on the field, the way Coach Eck is aggressive on 4th down. Lane with a lot of time, still looking. Jack is going to take off, and Jack will be brought down after getting back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he went to his 2nd and 3rd progression, and you see the confidence. Offensive lineman blocking for quite a long time right there. You'd like to see him maybe check that down to the get out of trouble back, which is with Scott Trey Humphrey in the flats right there. Maybe give him an opportunity to make somebody miss and pick up the 1st down or get something to it. But see what they decide to do here on 4th down.
They're going for it. Ultra aggressive on a 4th and 8.
Not shocking.
Coach Eck's personality. The Lobos are top 10 in all of FBS in terms of frequency going for it on 4th down. Lane from the gun. Lots of time. Fires over the middle. Looking for Buckley. Incomplete. Flag comes out.
And it was simple for me, right? He was there early.
Nick Session in on the coverage.
Yeah. Then you got to be tight, but you got to be clean as well.
Pass interference, number 1, defense. Ball be placed in the spot of the foul, and automatic. 1st down.
Just a deep in route right there by the Lobo receiver, and then Sessions a little early. See Jack come off of it late, and
they announced Josiah Charles, the corner. Obviously, it's Sessions getting there early. When you pull that back arm like that, Dontrell, it's an obvious call.
Yep, it's a no-brainer. Buckley knew it. The Lobos knew it, and here you are, first down.
1st and 10 at the Aggie 32. McKinney with an opportunity and really good pursuit. Troy Geathers, Dodge City Community College transfer. Nice tackle.
Yeah, running sideline to sideline right there, which is interesting to see. Like we said, we've documented it in the keys. We've documented it, early on, setting the tone, owning the zone. Can they control the line of scrimmage to have them an opportunity? And they've done that, thus far in the run game.
Getting the start in place of injured leader Sone Alpiu. Lane rolling right, firing right, and over the head of Keegan Johnson. 2nd and 9. Incompletion brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, here's another 3rd down. They looked like they had a little confusion right there. They were maybe potentially trying to set up a screen that didn't work, and then he just kind of rolled out. But
UNM has won 4 of the last 6 meetings with the Aggies. The Lobos have won 8 of the last 11 meetings with New Mexico State. None of those has been as big as this one. Not even close. Handoff to McKinney. Oh, breaks the tackle. Look at his toughness. To the 27. Pick up a 4.
Yeah, you just see the explosion. You see the patience, and then gets it a more manageable 4th down, decide to go for it to see if they'll try to take some points. But you just see the power right there, the patience by McKinney to get in there and pick up a few yards on 3rd down.
The wind is just whipping through University Stadium. You can see the flags at the north end. 44-yard attempt from the right hash for Luke Drizwicki. It's on the way. It's high enough. And it is perfect. And the Lobos are even at 17-17. 7-0, got it even, and then New Mexico State scored 10 straight to take the 2-possession lead, but we're back deadlocked. Steinkamp kickoff. Deep into the end zone for a touchback. Aggie football.
And I think the Lobos feel like that's how they are. They're going to have adversity. They're going to feel like, down and figure out a way to persevere. They did that against Idaho State. They, I think they feel like they have an opportunity wherever they're at in the game to create momentum and stay in a football game, and that's what they did here. But again, 17-17, exactly where you want to be if you were down 17-7, and we'll see what gives.
Fife, the signal caller. Play fake, and he wants to throw. Incomplete. Off the fingertips of P.J. Johnson III. 157 receiving yards at Louisiana Tech a couple of weeks ago. The first Aggie over $150 in a game since 2017.
Yeah, and he's averaging over 16 yards per carry, Robert. And the little high right there, he goes up and tries to get it. And fortunate, again, that wasn't tipped and picked off. But, again, the fortuitous bounce for them this time.
He can really carry it once he catch it. 87 yards after the catch against La Tech. Inside handoff. Lobos are all over it on a 2nd and 10. Nothing for Kadarius Callaway.
And here's that third down that we talked about. I've talked about in the Keys and even early on in this game. The Lobos have allowed the conversion rate of almost 50%, 49.7% conversion rate. And let's see if they can get off the field. They're only 4 of 10, 40% are the Aggies today.
John Johnson in on his 4th stop from his quarterback spot. Now a 3rd and 9. Brown goes in motion. It's caught. That's the tight end, Harris, in Lobo territory to the 46. 28 yards.
Yeah, Murphy kind of maybe was out of position right there. They get the seam to their playmaker there, and coach's son Jackson Eck and Murphy kind of a miscommunication there, and they give up the big completion on 3rd down.
Play fake, fire it near side. Fapel. John Johnson continues his outstanding work. Montana State transfer.
When you think about corners, too, they got to have, just short-term memory. They got to be ultra confident and be able to read the hips, and he broke on that. And there's the PBU you see right there, and then the celebration and the excitement afterwards.
This might be a free play for the Aggies. Incomplete on the slant. Looking for the tight end, Harris. I think Keyshawn James Newby jumped.
Offside, number 1, defense in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
Newby had a couple of penalties just like that in the first half. Dontrell
sure did. Exact same thing where you're kind of looking down at the line of scrimmage and you just have to be patient. I know you played a great game. You've been almost unblockable today. And so you just have to figure that out.
17-17 tie. 8.5 to go, 3rd quarter. 2nd and 5. How about that tackle? That's Brian Booker just wrestling down a 225-pound back Isaiah Ruddison like he was a little baby cat.
Yeah, you see the explosion right there by Book getting down the line of scrimmage and tackling him and setting up another 3rd down. And here we go, the biggest play thus far to this game.
3rd and 4. Listen to this crowd. If not capacity, near capacity. Biggest crowd since 2007. Fife, single coverage, left sideline, incomplete. Tried to go back shoulder, Brody Malone Bradford, and John Johnson is just an anchor over here on the right side of the defense on the edge.
Yeah, you just see his confidence growing and growing, emerging as the guy that says, don't mess with me on my side of the ball. Again, a bad throw, but he's right there. If it's a good throw, he might intercept it. So
the Aggies will go forward on 4th down. Coming into this game, they had tried once. This is their 2nd 4th down try of the game. They converted a 4th and 1 earlier. Fife facing 4-man pressure. Fife will tuck it away and take off. And Fife, I think he's short. Yep, the Lobos hold.
The game. 1st and 10, New Mexico. Timeout on the field.
And that's how
7:44 to go. We're headed to break, mid-third quarter. Lobos with a chance to take the lead. New Mexico and New Mexico State tied at 17 in the Rio Grande Rivalry. They motion the big man Tassi and run a play fake. And Eck has dialed up a big one here, and Lane misses Miller at the 40, but a flag is out. That's in the secondary.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 21, defense, 10-yard penalty, and automatic first down.
Zedekiah Rodriguez-Brown.
Yeah, and you see it, and if he doesn't hold, he's going to be beat, and Jack Lane can go up top and maybe have a touchdown. So that's what they tell you. If you're beat like that, you hold it, and you better hope they call it, or you get him, or it's a touchdown.
You can see the Lobos thinking there, right, with that play design. They've got the big fella Tassi in, and usually that means run. They were looking for a home run shot. DJ McKinney on a 1st and 10. Give him 3 to the 47, 2nd and 7.
And you're right, Robert, though, that's play tendencies, right? They bring Tassi in, they motion him. In the first half, they did that, and they had a great run play, and that's what he's been all time, or has done all season. If you're the Aggies, you're taking a look at that, and you're reading your reads, and you're coming down for a run. And the Coach Slice and company changes it up, goes for the home run, and they were cheating on the play, so wasn't able to get the home run.
2nd and 7 at the Aggie 47 and a 17-17 tie. Held New Mexico State on 4th down. Now looking to take the lead. Pistol set up. Lane play fake. Jack with time. Flush to his left. Has a wide open Magnum. The flag out. There's Thomas. Thomas to the 10. Thomas to the 5. This one might be coming back.
Yeah, you see the outside. Anytime the quarterback kind of gets out to the line of scrimmage, you got to let him go. See if they call holding here, but it appears to be what it looks like.
Nathan Mitchell saved the touchdown with the tackle down at the 4, but the flag is in the Lobo Shield logo at midfield as the officials discuss it.
Holding, number 51, offense, 10-yard penalty, replay 2nd down.
Malik Alian, the left tackle. It's a long time to stay engaged, isn't it, Dontrell?
It is, and once you kind of feel him get outside, you just have to let him go. And what's crazy is it's just hard to do, and he's inside the frame, but once you feel your quarterback get outside, either the tackle, D-tackle, or the defensive end is going to try to edge his way out there, and you just have to let him go. It's an easy call, but it's one where if you're the tackle, you just have to know, let him go. And
so 2nd and 16. Five penalties on the Lobos today, just 7 total in their first 3 games of the year. Banks is the tailback this time. Lobos are trying to set up a screen to Damon, and Jack just has to spike it.
There is no foul for intentional grounding. Number 1 was in the area. 3rd down.
Yeah, you try to set up a screen to get your all-purpose king the ball in space, and the Aggies did their homework, right? Play recognition, you're watching film, you know what they're going to maybe try to do and on tendencies, and the Lobos just have to figure out a way to maybe disguise that a little better to get him the ball in that space.
One thing to keep in the back of your mind, if New Mexico could get half of this chunk back or a little more, they'd be on the plus side of the field. You can expect another 4th down try. Lane standing in against 4-man pressure over the middle here to Bankston. Bankston near midfield at the original line of scrimmage. Brought down there, and a flag out late. Could this be extracurriculars on the Aggies?
Yeah, again, emotion. You know, do you give them another opportunity? Is it a personal foul?
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness from the 59. Offense, 15-yard penalty. It's 4th down.
It's on the Lobos center, Caden Robnett.
And he's going to come over there. He's going to see them pushing on his guys, and you know it's an easy call.
That's called clearing the pile.
Clearing the pile, and that's how people get hurt. And again, he's still pushing on your guy, and I get it, but just not necessary. Like you said, 6 penalties today and only 7 on the whole season.
Field position, that's what that's about. Lobos unlikely to have gone for it on 4th and 10 from midfield, but it backs him up an extra 15, and Daniel Hughes will punt it away. TJ Pride signals fair catch. Settles in and corrals it at his 29. Aggie wins here in Albuquerque have been hard to come by. They did it 2 years ago in their historic 10-win campaign. But in games played here between these teams, the Lobos lead this series 42, 14, and 3. That's the record. Fife's going to hand it off, and there's the corner. And a lot of room for Kadarius Callaway.
Yeah, they just sealed the edge right there. See him get out, just a zone read right there. There's just a stretch play where you get big on big, get everybody outside, and he did. He tight-roped the sideline. It's going to be farther back. He stepped out, unless they caught it initially. But, yeah, he stepped out before he picked up the first game. He thought it was maybe a bigger game, but it was only a 9-yard gain.
Yep, that left foot just out of bounds, shy of the line to gain. It's been Callaway's show primarily with Stanley out after being injured early. Callaway slides down near the 46, gain of 8. Aggie first down.
Yeah, and they're running the ball well between the tackles. It's kind of been an interesting kind of game, right, where the Lobos have been the great running team this season, and the Aggies haven't, and they haven't been able to stop it, and they flip-flopped it, and now the Aggies are able to run the football, and the Lobos haven't been able to do it as well.
These 2 runs have finally put them into the plus category in rush yardage simply because of all the sacks that they've given up.
Right.
The ball's on the turf. Fife falls on it and saves a turnover.
Oh, that's that early snap. Fife saying, my bad, Ray, my bad. He's trying to organize the offense, and the center and quarterback not on the same plays. Lucky, fortuitous bounce right there back to Pfeiffer, and the Aggies dodge a bullet.
Aggies 1 turnover, a deflected ball intercepted by the Lobos to prevent points at the end of the half. The Lobos have turned it over twice, putting it on the ground on a fumble and a muff punt. And another back down by Keyshawn James Newby, his second PBU. He did it earlier on a screen, and this time they're looking out in the flat, and Key was all over it.
Yeah, Key has just been absolutely awesome today. You just think about the explosion, you think about the play recognition, and again, it was just going to be another a screen outside, and he came off unblocked on the edge and gets his hands up.
3rd and 14.
Simply put, if you cannot get there, get your hands up. Lobos haven't had to blitz. They haven't had to do anything. They can sit people in coverage, just like they will probably here on this 3rd and forever.
4 wide receivers set up, 2 to both sides after the motion, and the motion was incorrect.
Prior to snap, false start, number 5, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
That's Donovan Fappel. Outside receiver there, number 5, just jumped a little early.
And maybe the noise was a little bit of a factor. We talked about that with
the game clock operator. Please reset the gate. Thank you.
The Lobos gave their defensive players earplugs during practice this week so they could learn how to communicate without talking because of the crowd disrupting the opposing offense.
Yeah, it's genius, right? Something you may not really think about, but again, that's smart by the Lobo coaching staff.
On 3rd and a mile, they get the completion to Harris. Combs and Murphy and Eck. On a 3rd and 18, they get about 4.
Yeah, you got to get the guys out right there. You see Gabe Lopez getting involved with somebody else, but you see the safety in numbers. You called 4 or 5 guys there. You could add the rest of the roster and the student body right there in that tackle because they were all in on that tackle and get the Aggies off the field on 3rd down.
Emotions pouring out of guys right now. Got to remain disciplined. Short punt. Hits at the 22, kicks ahead to the 15. Miller alertly calls everybody off and gets out of the way. And the Lobos will have a possession once again to take the lead. Well, Jack Lane has played his entire football career with his twin brother, Dylan. As youth players, they are identical twins. As high school players, and of course, as college players at Idaho. This is Dylan's breakout season now with the Vandals. He is their defensive leader at linebacker. They literally are a spitting image of each other. Jack told me a great story, Dontrell, of the two of them as third graders doing the thing that you think they would do whenever they wanted. They switched, and they had the teachers fooled until their buddy broke. He gave him away.
He dimed him out.
Yep. Little shovel toss to DT, and Dorian will pick up 3 to the 19-yard line.
They did a little Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. They did a little the twins in that. Yeah, that's just crazy that they actually decided to do that, and it worked. And then their own buddies ratted them out. Parent Trap is the movie I was thinking of.
It was their buddy Blake. Jack said he said he broke. He just couldn't hold it anymore. Yeah. Twins to the right. Heavy package again with Jamar Tassi on a 2nd and 7. That extra lineman set up offset left. Lane wants to throw. Deep ball. Post. It's Keegan. He's got it. He can't keep his feet. Down at the 31. 50 yards down Trump.
Hey, a beautiful thrown ball. And here's what's crazy. It's exciting. He's pumped up, and it was a great catch. He wanted to keep his feet there. He walks in for a touchdown, but exactly what you want right there. You see Jack Lane, they keep tossing in for the extra protection. Exactly what you want. He gets away from his guy, little outside, and he just stumbles a little bit. A massive gain right there. Great just go route. And again, got to try to keep your feet there, but Lobos in business inside the 30.
I think he lost his balance because he had to reach behind
to the outside, yes.
Just for a moment.
Yep.
2 tight ends set up. McKinney is the tailback. McKinney has a ton of space. McKinney through the Descendant Credit Union logo inside the 25 and down to the 24. It's a gain of 8.
Yeah, gain of 8. Get right back on the line of scrimmage. An effective run for the first time in quite some time on the edge.
More tempo for the Lobos. Empty backfield. 5 wide. Wide open man. Thomas caught. Thomas. Touchdown. 24 yards. Lobos lead. 23-17.
There's the guy, right? There's DT. There's the guy, Dorian Thomas, that has been their best playmaker to date. And, good to get him back involved is what the Lobos have been about their game plan was to get him involved. And you see him this kind of seam route. And I don't know how you let him go. He's their most dynamic football player. And Lobos back on top. And you see the end zone dance there.
It's his 3rd touchdown grab of the season and his 3rd touchdown grab of his career. It's also the 3rd touchdown pass for Jack Lane today. Imagine Dorian Thomas for 2 years at the University of Arizona. He appeared in 3 games. He played 1 offensive snap. He caught 0 balls. That athlete?
It's unbelievable. And sometimes it's location and opportunity, like you talked about earlier. You get the opportunity and you make the most of it.
When there were over 41,000 in here back in 2007.
Yeah, just absolutely ecstatic for the Lobos to be able to do what they want to do, get the people out and watch a great football game. We had 44,000 in 2005 against this very Aggie team, and excited for the Lobo fan base to be able to come out, and good for them.
Touchback puts New Mexico State at the 25. And the Aggies trail for the first time. There's head coach Tony Sanchez trying to settle the troops. The experienced quarterback, Logan Fife, led Fresno State to a win here back in 2022 when he was their quarterback. 41-9. Shotgun snap and a give. And room off right tackle. And nearly a first down. In fact, they're going to give him progress, 10 yards for Kadarius Callaway.
Again, just between the tackles there, it's interesting to see how the Lobos have been quite stingy in the defensive run game, but they're gapping them. And you have slants or spiked by the defensive lineman, and if they get out of zones and out of their lane, then that creates a lane for the running back.
Single setback for Fife in a play fake this time. He's feeling pressure, now rolling right. Looking for some help, he'll take off. Out of bounds, far side. Pushed out by Clint Stevens. Gain of 5.
Yeah, again, that's a coverage sack right there. What you like about the Lobos is they're staying disciplined. They know, hey, they have to do what they have to do. We have to stay where we are. And you have multiple people playing the right position. You have a spy on the quarterback there. Nothing to do, and brings up another 3rd down.
Trips to the left. Single wide to the right is the tight end Harris.
That is the end of the 3rd quarter.
The 3rd quarter comes to a close. The Lobos lead for the first time. 24-17 New Mexico with 15 minutes on the game clock. 4th quarter action coming after the break. The huge hit over the top to Keegan Johnson sets up this touchdown to Dorian Thomas. New Mexico by 7. The Kadarius Callaway show. New Mexico State 6 yards for a first down on 3rd down. Fife fires back shoulder. That's the tight end Harris. Big gain inside the 40 of New Mexico. Out of bounds on the near sideline. That's a pickup of 31.
Yeah, they like Gavin Harris, and you see why. He's big, he's fast, he's strong. And it's just a seam route. They have to do a double seam, and then right at the last second, the inside receiver goes inside, and 2 of them go with him, and Harris is wide open for the first down.
They like Harris so much, and he's developed so well in the first quarter of this 25 season that they don't go 4 wide anymore with 4 wide receivers. It's Harris as the 4th guy on the outside. Here's their top pass catcher, Donovan Fappel. He turns it up, picks up another Aggie first down inside the 25 down to the 23 for a gain of 13.
Yeah, and Fappel's just kind of been their guy. They just do the little zone read and they get it out to him quickly. And he's had the answer for the Aggies today.
Aggies looking for the tying score. Early 4th, down a touchdown in Albuquerque. Hand it off. He does a great job to get back to the line of scrimmage. Kadarius Callaway maybe lost of a half yard.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to call him short of that line, which is a TFL. And you see the penetration
Indeed.
right there.
Lobos have been able to get into that Aggie backfield on a few occasions here today, Dontrell.
They have. They've created penetration on their own, on the edge, up the middle.
7 sacks. That's the first pure TFL. So 8 tackles for loss now. The end around, and there's nothing there. Lorenzo McMillan brought down by Darren Agu. What an athlete that man is.
Absolute athlete.
6'6", 244, Dontrell.
He can run like the wind blows. You see him getting sideways, can move his body. Kind of reminds me of Taylor Chase, the Ohio State guy. He just kind of is a big body, and you can just see him athletic, can move, and you see the ability, and they're just ecstatic to have him in the lineup.
3rd and 10 at the Lobo 23. Aggies with the ball, down 7. Fife against 4-man pressure, has time. Single coverage into the end zone, overthrows his man, incomplete. 4th and 10. He was looking for Brody Malone Bradford.
Really just a hope and pray right there. Great coverage out there. Was never going to bite on the under route, and he basically kind of threw it away.
Ryan Hawk returns. 1 of 2 today. Hit the upright from 51, no good. He was good from 47, both of those in the first half. This will be 39 yards. High snap. The first sellout for a Lobo football game since 2007. capacity crowd of 37,440 taking in the 115th edition of the Rio Grande Rivalry. So happy to be bringing it to you live on Altitude Sports today. Aggies and Lobos, shoulder to shoulder, everywhere you look, with everything on the line. The first time that they meet in this game, both teams with winning records in 33 years. That's hard to believe, Dontrell. Both teams at 2-1.
It really is hard to believe when you think about it, but that is exactly how we sit here today, and the 37,000 plus have been treated to a great football game.
The Lobos have owned the fourth quarter this season so far through 3 games, 36-13 advantage, outscoring opponents in the fourth quarter. Remember the 15-point fourth quarter blitz against Idaho State in week 2 of the regular season here at University Stadium to win that game and come from behind style.
Yeah, they just do it. They stay the course. They're right where they need to be, and they say, hey, whatever we're down, we just stay the course. We'll get back in the football game. And
an 8-play, 50-yard drive and a 39-yard field goal for Ryan Hawk, and the Aggies are within 4, 24-20. The touchback will give it to New Mexico at the 25.
And I think resilience and execution comes from the attitude of your coach, whether it's the offensive coordinator or the defensive coordinator, obviously your head coach, but can you stay the part? Can you stay the course, no matter whether you're up 20 or you're down 10? And like you said, down 17-7. Now they're up 4 with an opportunity to go score again.
The Lobos outgaining the Aggies by nearly 100 yards. But it's just a 4-point spread. Lane with a play fake. All the time he needs. A wide open Dorian Thomas. A leaping grab at midfield. Eludes the first tackler. And down to the 41 of the Aggies. 34 yards.
Little jump ball right there, and that was not Jack Lane's best throw, but Dorian Thomas said, I got you, partner. He goes up top, catches it on the high level, and just high points that football. That's just an athletic catch by Dorian Thomas, a huge play over the middle.
That's an elite athlete, a Power 4 athlete who started his career at the University of Arizona. Just needed an opportunity.
Yep. And the Lobos are thankful for that opportunity.
Trip setup. Motion Buckley into the backfield. Throw it to Buck. He can throw it. That was a lateral. He will throw it. He's got a wide open man, and it's caught. That's Keegan Johnson. It's a Lobo touchdown.
What an executed play. You called it, Robert. He's in motion, and then it's just a play. He can throw it, and he will, and it was a strike. You draw up your trick plays. We talked to Coach Slice earlier this week. He talked about having 1 or 2 in the bank, and it's when you call it and how you execute it, and that's exactly what the Lobos did right there. Executed it to perfection at the right moment in time.
The Lobos had total confidence in letting Buckley throw the ball again because of what he did at UCLA 2 weekends ago, Dontrell, when he caught a really high pass from Jack Lane, brought it down, and then dropped a dime that ended up being incomplete on a trick play in the Rose Bowl. Flags out late after the Griswicki point after touchdown.
Yep, just extracurriculars right there is getting a little chippy. And this is what happens. I've been in these games where the team that's losing and doesn't really like the way things are going, they start chippy a little bit, and you just got to hold your composure and don't get yourself thrown out for the next game.
The try is good after the play was over. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 96, New Mexico State. That's his first of the game. That 15-yard penalty enforced on the kickoff.
A 41-yard trick play touchdown for New Mexico on the double pass. Buckley to Johnson. Fingertip grab. Nobody near him. Lobos 31, New Mexico State 20.
Yeah, and what you see right there is the execution for me. Buckley didn't panic. It was going to come open soon. He said just waited, took a couple steps, and just fired a strike in there. Again, execution personified right there. If you can call up a play and your coach trusts you to execute, the Lobos happen to have Keegan back in the lineup, catches a touchdown and a great throw again by Buckley.
Oh my goodness, Dontrell. That's the first TD grab for Keegan Johnson here in 2025. The bank, the plethora of trick plays in the pocket of Eck and Slice it seems to have no end.
And it has no end, and it's always there. He told us this week that I'm always going to have 3 or 4 in the bank. I'm always going to be prepared to do those things and be ready to go, and he was.
Bouncing kickoff fielded and a knee taken at the 19, and that's where New Mexico State will start. And for the first time, the Aggies trail by 2 scores.
And again, I keep harping on it, but those plays aren't effective. You can call them all you want if you don't execute. The timing of the call was also impeccable. Everything has to go in right together. Poetry in motion is what that is. You call it at the right moment. You execute at the right moment.
Aggie ball at their own 19. Five for the inside, handoff to Callaway. He'll try the backside. Get 2, maybe 3. Jalen McIver with the tackle. He's a Tuscaloosa kid. No chance you can guess his favorite Crimson Tide player because he's 6'4", 281. But his favorite Crimson Tide is Julio Jones.
Oh, wow.
An Alabama native, by the way, from the town of Foley.
Yeah.
McIver wanted to be a wide receiver when he was a kid.
Of course.
Motion to tight end Harris in behind the right tackle. Run a play fake. Throw it over the middle. And it's nearly intercepted. Oh, Tavian Combs had one right in the bread basket.
He broke on that ball. He's trying to get another one to go with his one from UCLA a couple of weeks ago, but just have to keep your eye on it. They're just sitting back, watching the quarterback's eyes, and he's kind of thrown behind him and just didn't watch it in. We used to always tell some of our DBs, that's why you're playing DB and not wide receiver. They didn't like that very much, but again, watch that ball in, and it's his second pick of the season.
One of the poorer throws from Logan Fife today, very much behind the intended receiver. 3rd and 7 at the 22. 4 out in the pattern for Fife. Rolling to his right after feeling pressure. He's in trouble and he goes down. Back at the 14. Elijah Brody with the Lobos 8 sack. That equals the 8 that they had back in 2020 when they beat up and beat Jake Haener in Fresno State at Sam Boyd Stadium in Vegas during the COVID season.
Wow, just an absolute monster display of energy right now from the Lobos. Getting off the edge, you see Elijah Brody just tracking him down, effort, and you keep running, and he got there. You can see the enthusiasm oozing out of his bones right there, and just excited for the Lobos on that play.
Brody is just an amazing story, the path to that sack. Spiraling kick will be fair caught here. Miller corrals it at his 47. Flag out, maybe fair catch interference. Brody came to UNM as a wide receiver. He moved to safety at the end of last season when the Lobos played in Hawaii. He started the spring this year at linebacker, and he moved to defensive end in fall camp.
Kick catch interference, number 43, kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the spot of foul, and the first down, timeout.
15 yards of field position for the Lobos. New Mexico on top, 31-20 in the 115th edition of the Rio Grande Rivlary. 11, 10 minutes left. Lane's going to give it to Scott Trey Humphrey. The big back straight ahead for 6.
And if you're the Lobos, what good football teams do, there's another flag, and we'll see kind of what it was, but
see about the flag here. Keep your composure now if you're New Mexico.
Yeah, exactly what I was going to say. You got to figure out a way, and good teams know how to close the game in these moments.
New Mexico, number 3, New Mexico State. That's both those players first of the game. Those fouls offset. It's second down.
I have to say, Dontrell, massive credit to the officiating crew today for not giving single penalties, getting the initiator and getting the response, because it hasn't change this game. Big 15-yard penalties can be so huge.
Yeah, they got it right. They're saying one person is guilty and so is the other person, and oftentimes they don't call it that way. They get the first person, or typically, they get the second person, if I'm being honest.
Pistol setup. This is Humphrey. Penetration. Brad Vislasel, Northern Iowa transfer. Penetration. TFL.
And it's kind of interesting too to see how things play out in these kind of games. The overall temperament of the coaches and their stories, and you said Coach Sanchez and Coach Eck have known each other for a long time, and then you kind of see their personalities play out in games, and you kind of see how that affects the play calling, the defensive plays, the tenure, the temperament of their teams.
McKinney, the tailback. This one never gets started on 3rd and 10. You mentioned
prior to snap, false start, number 68, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Tyler Lawrence.
Thank you.
Rob Nett singling to his line right there, and then you can see the right tackle, Lawrence.
Yeah.
Sanchez and Eck have known each other since Sanchez was the head coach at California High School in the Golden State. Coach Eck was at Idaho and recruiting a kid on Coach Sanchez's team. And they spent an hour at the whiteboard drawing up plays together. Lane will be sacked back near midfield and a late flag. Just over 8.5 to go.
Personal foul, illegal hands to the face, number 16, defense, 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
That is an enormous call. Gabe Peterson, such a big part of this New Mexico State defense, an original Aggie in 22 and 23. You can see him getting the hands up in the face of the Lobos offensive lineman Jamar Tassi, and he actually left to go play at Utah State last year. Got injured, only played in 5 games. Came back to New Mexico State. An anchor up front. Big automatic first down with the personal foul. Flip it to Thomas. Thomas tackled. Nick Session coming downhill. Really good safety.
Yeah, and what happens on those hands to the face, it's almost kind of unfortunate for the defenders. I played offense, so I don't really feel sorry for too many defenders, but it's not that you're trying to get it there. You're kind of wrestling, and the offensive lineman is kind of tackling you, pushing you, and you're trying to get your hands off of him and get to the ball carrier, and they kind of come up to the face. It's always a good call, but I don't think it's ever like, black and white, like he put his hands to his face, but it's a tough call. Fortunate for the Lobos, but unfortunate for the Aggies. But I always think those are tough calls, bang plays, but they can affect the football game, and they have.
4 wide receivers set up here on a 2nd and 9 for Lane. 7.5-minute mark. DJ McKinney nailed at the 14. The 24. Gain of 3. Quincy Davis with the tackle.
You're almost in the 4-minute mindset right here, where you're trying to keep the ball, take your time, put the ball in the end zone, and put it out of reach. Again, I've said this before. I'll go over it again. Good teams find a way to put the ball in the end zone and put the game out of reach. They don't mess around. They don't play around with it. They know what they want to do. They're direct. This goes a long way to determine what kind of team the Lobos want to be.
3rd and 6. Tailback is McKinney. Lane wants to throw. Single coverage. Johnson caught at the 7. Lobo first down. 17 yards.
Lobo's happy to have that young man back in the lineup. You can just throw it up there. He's confident. He's going to be where he needs to be. He can win his one-on-one coverages, and you see him do it on that play.
5 catches for a $117. McKinney nailed in the backfield. Burnock Aya with a nice TFL. How good is this throw?
Yeah, it's back shoulder throw, and that's what I'm saying. You see the concentration and then the skill by Mr. Johnson there on the back shoulder throw from Jack Lane.
What I see both on that catch, Dontrell, and the touchdown catch on the trick play is elite hands.
Yes.
I see Sunday hands.
Wow.
I see the ball strong in the fingers, and it's not moving. He doesn't need anything else to bring that ball in.
I completely agree with you. You know, possession receiver and NFL type hands is what you're alluding to, and he's showing it on the last couple of plays.
2nd and goal at the 8. Scott Trey Humphrey inside the 5, and what a collision at the 3. And I'm going to give Humphrey some serious props, because that's the exact same scenario where he lost the football in the first half, and he did not shy away from the contact there. He initiated it.
Yeah, he's trying that. Exactly. He was that's exactly what it was when he fumbled. I completely agree right there. You cannot shy away from what you're going to need to do when the game's on the line.
Substitution on the offense. 12 players in the huddle. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
What a collision with Nick Session that was, too. The Lobos get cut. Substituting poorly. And instead of 3rd and goal from the 3, it's 3rd and goal from the 8. UNM looking to add to a 31-20 lead as the clock churns to the 5:20 mark. The tailback is Humphrey. Lane looking to throw. Lane with plenty of time. He's got Humphrey out of the backfield, and it's a Lobo touchdown from 8 yards out. 37-20, New Mexico.
And that's how you feel, and that's what you see when you're Mr. Lane. You go into your first read, your second read. No one's available. You go to your 3rd read. You throw it confidently. And let's give some love to the big guys up front. They gave Mr. Lane, Jack Lane, the quarterback for the Lobos, plenty of time right there to go to his 3rd read, which is Scott Trey Humphrey out of the backfield, and they throw a touchdown, and the Lobos extend the lead.
And it is a spectacular afternoon in the Rio Grande Rivalry for quarterback Jack Lane, 21-28. That is his 5th touchdown pass to a 5th different receiver. And the Lobos in total control at 38-20 with just over 5 minutes remaining.
Again, you see the confidence right there. You see the moxie to just stand in the pocket, standing there, go from your 1st read to your 2nd read, now to your 3rd read, and just drop it in there. Great hands. Coach Eck and company have talked about it all season long. The hands, the catching ability of all of their backs out of the backfield, and there you see it on display.
And Dontrell, it is the 5th different receiver to catch a touchdown pass for New Mexico today. But Jack's only thrown 4 of them. Because remember, Buckley on the double pass threw the other one.
Yeah, can't be giving them 5
how about
right there.
spreading it around?
Yeah.
5 different guys.
Let's go back to the keys to victory. It said Lobos, feed the pack, spread the ball around. Trick plays, run games, short passing, explosive plays. That was going to be a key to victory that we said early in this football game, and you see why. And it came to fruition today.
Well, Lane had a 31 completion game in the Big House against Michigan in week 1 back on August 30. But this is his signature performance as the Lobos signal caller. 4 touchdowns and 303 passing yards for Jack Lane.
And if I told you, Robert, that the Lobos would only have 106 rushing yards with 5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, would you believe that they'd be up by 18? But that just shows, and a credit to what you just talked about, Mr. Lane's excellence today. 77% completion rating, 303 yards, 4 touchdowns. I know you tried to give him a 5th there, but there's still a little bit of football to be played.
You think about it, I think that the Lobo coaching staff felt like New Mexico State might sell out a little bit to stop the run. They've struggled to do that this year, and they thought that they could get something done in the pass game today. And boy, have they ever. Fife brought down again. The 9th sack of the game. That's Wheezy with the sack for the Lobos. McCray brings him down from behind. That's 9 sacks. And Kaiwan McCray's sack brings the total to a number that equals the Lobos single game record, Dontrell. This is now the 6th time in New Mexico football history they've had 6 sacks in a game.
Wow, they're teeing off. That's what they do. You see the energy and the effort from McCray on that previous play, trying to get back around, and gets the sack, like you said, to the tune of 9 of them today.
Fife to Brown for 23 yards. 4:20 left. Fife throwing again. Has his man. Right at the first down marker, it's Harris. Makes the grab. Frankie Johnson III with the tackle. Excuse me, Frankie Edwards III.
Yeah, and in these moments in a football game, I know if you're a defense, I know how we used to think of, attitude and let's finish the game on a note where we don't let them score and let them get down the field. So let's see if the Lobos will, kind of incorporate some of that stinginess on this drive.
Lobos send 4, and Fife has time. Nice coverage by David Murphy. Singled up out there on the tight end from Stanford, Lucas Unger. And Murph, he's that quintessential hybrid guy. Can come downhill, can play in coverage. He was in perfect position.
Yeah, he really was. Turned and played the ball late. Saw the ball early, but then turned and played his hands late, which is exactly what you want.
Started as a walk-on. Got his Scully last year. 2nd and 10. Fife in trouble. Escapes with room. Tucks it away. Turns it upfield. Out of bounds at the 33. 13 yards and an Aggie first down.
And you see it right there. I know Coach Eck talked about it when we talked to him earlier this week, that he was, athletic enough to kind of extend the play, and he's done that a couple times today. Never kind of reared its ugly head for the Lobos to be kind of significant, but you see it there just kind of getting out of the pocket and picking up the first down.
Not a dynamic runner, but very athletic and can do that.
Capable, yes.
Get you a first down when you need it. Time for Fife. Now being chased. Knocked out of bounds far sideline. Landon Williams tracking down Fife on that occasion. Single coverage, Abe Williams there. Nice deflection. Trying to throw a jump ball to Jackson Owens. And I don't know, unless you're 6'6", throwing a jump ball against the 6'2" Williams, as athletic as he is, that's a win for New Mexico.
Especially when you're not expecting anything underneath. You can sit back and stay on top, and not a recipe for success for the Aggies.
3rd and 10. 2:46 left. Empty backfield for Fife. That's the tight end. Give him 7. Harris tackled right on the catch. 4th down coming up. Harris's 6th ball.
And that was a pop. Murphy came up and placed a pop on him at the end of this run. This catch, boom, right there.
4th and 3. Post, incomplete. Off the fingertips of Donovan Fupel, and the Lobos turn him over on downs.
There you go. That's been the theme today. Another 3rd down mishap right there, or if you will, fortuitous play by the Lobos and get off the field on 3rd down. You see it kind of moving around, trying to find them open, trying to find Fupel open late, and he's actually played well today, but that was just a little high and was not able to make the catch.
Jack Lane, captain at quarterback for New Mexico, in the middle of that huddle on the sideline with Coach Eck in the foreground. They have been together forever. Lane's entire college football career with Coach Eck, 3 years at Idaho and now 1 at New Mexico. Inside give. Scottre Humphrey off left tackle.
first. Charge him out of half. New Mexico State, 30 seconds.
Pickup of 3 for Scott Trey. Aggies spend their first timeout. Humphrey came into today 74 rush yards per game, 5th in the Mountain West. And that included playing just 1 quarter against UCLA 2 weeks ago.
Just kind of shows his dominance, right? Shows what he's been doing all season. 200 yards, averaging 6.5 yards a carry, 6 TDs, add the 1 for today. 74 yards a game.
The previous largest crowd before today, Dontrell.
Yes.
2009, 35,248. The Lobos have exceeded that today with a solid of 37,440. Have to go all the way back to 07, 41,033 to find a crowd larger than this one. Humphrey with space. Pounds ahead to the 35. Gain of 6, 3rd and 1.
Second, charge him out of half. New Mexico State, 30 seconds.
Aggie timeout and an Aggie down at the 35. Nice to see him getting up. That's Carrick Hobbs, one of the captains, a starting corner. That crowd of 41,033 back in 2007 was the last time that University Stadium was sold out. Capacity at that time was 40,094. Add in a few on the grass berm under the tree back in the day.
Had this.
A few standing along the concourse as well. That's how you get to 41,033. Scott Trey, first down. 3rd and 1 conversion for 3 yards. That'll bring us to the 2-minute timeout. The Lobos with a commanding 38-20 lead in the 115th meeting of the Rio Grande Rivalry. Hand off to Humphrey. Humphrey turns the corner. Humphrey dancing down the sideline across midfield. Where'd he step out? Just before midfield.
Sealing the edge right there. Maybe the Lobos are thinking, let's pop a big one to get to our 200-yard mark, but sealing the edge right there, getting Scott Trey around the edge.
When was the last time the Lobos got to 3-1 to start a season? We've been talking about 2007 a lot. It was the same year that they had their last sellout crowd. Not only
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 96, New Mexico State, 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down. That's his 2nd of the game. The 96 is ejected.
So Cole Schnetgoki, coming back from a broken ankle that ended his year after just 2 games a season ago, will not be able to play the final $150 of this one.
And he'll miss the first half of his next game. Have to be aware, got to stay in there. It's frustrating when you're on the opposite side. I've been there before, 3-1 in my career, and it didn't feel good, and I still think about it. Still hurts, but you got to take care of business so you can still be there for your team.
Humphrey with another chance. Get 2 or 3. Ezra Christensen with the tackle. The Lobos have 9 sacks today. Dontrell, we talked about that. Those 9 sacks equal the program record for single game. Did it happen 5 times previously? The last time in 05. In the game against Utah that you played in.
At Rice Echo Stadium.
Those 9 sacks also are the most in a game by any team in all of FBS this year. Oklahoma had 9 sacks against Auburn last week.
Well, they felt like they were going to throw the ball. We knew that the Aggies threw the ball a lot, and the Lobos were able to pin their ears back and get to the line of scrimmage and get penetration.
Humphrey again. And everybody crashing down off the edges now, and the backer Quincy Adams wraps him up first. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. Inside of a minute. Lobos will snap it one more time. Does not appear that the Aggies will use their final timeout. New Mexico will have its 75th win over its rival New Mexico State in this long-standing Rio Grande rivalry that dates back to 1894. One more handoff to Humphrey. Humphrey will pick up a couple, and the final 10 seconds will come off the clock. And a sellout crowd of 37,440 on its feet for a Lobo victory in the 115th meeting between these two New Mexico universities. The Lobos knock off the Aggies 38-20